So, Nisha, what's your favourite fictional creature?
Well, I quite like the sound of the Kraken.
The Kraken is pretty good. Release it. With the possible exception of Bigfoot, it is arguable that the Loch Ness Monster is one of the most popular and well-known cryptids in the world. Despite being an enduring pop culture icon of its native Scotland, the Loch Ness Monster is largely agreed to be nothing more than a myth, which hasn't stopped it being used for revenge.
Okay, so the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
It's all bullshit, right?
Basically, like, some people might disagree with us, but there is no scientific consensus that says this is a thing that exists. And what the Loch Ness Monster is supposed to be depends on which source or legend you consult, but a common theory is that it either looks like or is a Plesiosaur, which is a now extinct species of dinosaur from way back in the day.
Yeah.
And the Plesiosaur, I presume there's a picture of one behind me, but it's got little flippers and a big long neck. And I'd much prefer it in plush form though, because
yeah, I've seen the teddy version.
the teddy version of a Loch Ness Monster is fucking adorable. But yeah, it's not real. Just like all the other cryptids that supposedly exist, like Bigfoot, the Yeti, and you said you like the Kraken.
Yeah.
And there actually is basis for the Kraken, because giant squids are a thing. And I think there's even a bigger form of giant squid. And do you know what the name for that one is?
No.
The Colossal Squid. Isn't that great? It's
epic.
Someone named there's a squid bigger than the giant squid. We've got the Colossal Squid.
But is the Kraken bigger than the Colossal Squid?
That's the thing, we don't know, because obviously a Colossal Squid can fight a whale. And I think
Yeah.
whales fight these things. If you saw a whale fighting a giant fucking octopus tentacly creature, you'd be like, well, yeah. And you can see why legends about ship-destroying giant squids emerged when giant fucking squids swim around the ocean fighting whales. But when it's something like Bigfoot, which is a 9-foot tall gorilla that no one has ever encountered ever, there is no evidence left behind. Something like that must be leaving monster-sized turds everywhere. We never find anything.
I think what fascinates me about the Kraken is the fact it's in the ocean, and the ocean is a mysterious, creepy place.
Yeah, there's
and
so much weird shit in the ocean. Like I said, the Kraken, there's you can kind of understand why people would believe that. To be fair, the Kraken might just be someone who encountered a colossal squid, but Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster, complete bullshit. And we now have to talk about one of my favourite shows, because anyone who knows me knows I like my bad reality TV. And there is a show that I fucking love. I don't know the name. It's Bigfoot Hunters or something like that. And it's about people who go into the woods and look for Bigfoot. And there's 14 seasons and they've never found him. And they take night vision cameras. But I watch it because there's this guy in it who says, oh man, I'm going to attract the Bigfoot. I need to do a Bigfoot cry. And it's just a shot of him going, oh! And then that's it. And then he goes, oh, there's no Bigfoots here. It's it's so good. So there needs to be a clip of that show in, and they call it a squatch. They don't call it, they call it squatch. It's short for Sasquatch, because you know what? That's what people in the know call it. It's
just reminds me of this video that me and Adam watched the other day, actually. It was top 5 creepy creatures.
Yes.
And it was just videos that people have sent into this YouTuber. And one, it's called Skunk Ape. And it just looks like an ape attacking a tree, and he stands up and he's so tall.
Yeah.
You just see the back of him and people are oh my god, it's Bigfoot.
And it's no, it's a bear standing up. There's so many of those. The Chupacabra is one, where it's largely believed, no, it's a dog with mange, or a coyote with mange. Back in the day, you had the pig-faced woman was a popular attraction at freak shows and circuses, and they'd just shave a bear. They'd just shave a bear, because obviously they've got roughly human-sized proportions, when they're sat down, and just say, oh, it's a woman with a pig face.
So yeah, bringing it back to the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes.
What exactly are we talking about today?
Yeah, well, it was used for revenge, and to obviously set the scene for this story, we have to discuss arguably the most famous image of the Loch Ness Monster. This one here, colloquially known as the surgeon's photograph. And we won't talk too much about the origins and backstory behind the photograph itself, because it's fake. It is an admitted hoax that is nonetheless still held up today. You'll still find people today saying it's a picture of the Loch Ness Monster. And we can debunk that right now by showing you, a zoomed out photo of the Loch Ness Monster here. And we can't obviously, we can't see that. But I'm going to show you it, Nisha. So we can do it. Got the laptop right here. So We can see that, right? That's the Loch Ness Monster right there.
Yep.
Right, oh God, that looks really massive and scary, like a dinosaur. Let's just scroll down, look at the cropped out. Like, from that, can you tell that it's just a toy?
Yeah.
Can you tell,
Yeah.
like, when you see the zoomed out photo, you immediately realise it's bullshit.
It's actually cropped.
Yeah, it's just cropped to make it look bigger. And I think it's made of hay, some random shit around some guy's house, put on top of a toy submarine.
So I'm just wondering, why is it called the surgeon's photograph?
It's because the guy who took the photograph, one Robert Wilson, was a gynecologist and he didn't want his name to be listed. So what the paper that published it, the Daily Mail, is they just referred to him as a surgeon because they didn't want to refer to him like, you know, his proper title of a fanny doctor, I guess. But I was waiting to see what you were asking. I'm sorry to any gynecologists out there, but at the same time, yeah. Anyway, like he didn't want his name listed next to the photograph, so they called it the surgeon's photograph, and that's how it's come to be known.
So did Robert Wilson actually take the photograph himself?
Yeah, he took the photograph, but like the actual hoax itself was the brainchild of a guy called Marmaduke Weatherall, which is a fucking amazing name, and he engineered the taking of the photograph basically just to dick over the Daily Mail. So a goal I wholeheartedly support.
What was his problem with the Daily Mail? Why would he want to get like revenge on them?
Yeah, well, besides the obvious today, so if Americans watching don't know why people don't like the Daily Mail, it's like Piers Morgan writes for the Daily Mail, so that's just sum it up. Yeah, it sums up like, why do people hate the Daily Mail? Piers Morgan writes them. But Marmaduke Weatherall had been embarrassed by the Daily Mail, oddly enough, when he was looking for the Loch Ness Monster, because there was a report of footprints belonging to the monster spotted in Scotland, and the paper, asked him to write some articles when he went to Scotland about, his search for it, and it turns out the footprints ended up being, and I'm not making this up, a umbrella stand shaped like a hippo's foot that someone had just pressed into the mud over and over and over again to make it like a giant creature had been wandering around the loch. And when this was discovered, obviously the Daily Mail quickly dropped the story and threw Weatherall under the journalistic equivalent of a bus and kind of pushed into the side because it was a bit embarrassing that this supposed expert had been fooled by just a umbrella stand being pressed lightly into the mud. That reminds me of crop circles. I think we've talked before about all the crop circles in the world, or at least in Britain, were caused by two guys who were pressing down wheat with a piece of wood. And that was it, that's all they did. And
Yeah.
they pressed it down, and then years later they were like, oh, it kind of got a bit out of hand, yeah, we've been making all the crop circles. And experts went, no, that's impossible. Something this complex could only be made by a higher intelligence. And the guy went out with his piece of wood and made a crop circle live for the people who didn't believe him. They went, no, it's bullshit, that's a lie.
Literal proof right there.
And then he got out all of his his diagrams. Here's every single crop circle we've ever made. All the diagrams dated and times. No, it's not. It's all fake. Because they couldn't. Because they were fooled for so long. They felt so embarrassed that.
Yeah, they just didn't want to admit that they were wrong.
And I think their argument was, well, actually, no. Maybe the aliens did make them, and you're copying the aliens.
It's why, if I ever watch ghost videos or paranormal videos, I'm really skeptical because it's really easy for someone
Not to move a chair slightly across the room.
or to edit it. It's so easy to manipulate footage now that I just don't really believe anything.
I don't believe it because every person today has a HD 4K camera in their pocket, and we never see any more. What happened to all those blurry videos of UFOs? Why are we not getting HD footage of ET just going through McDonald's?
There was one we watched where this guy's house and he was filming on what looked like a potato. And I was just like, okay, this is probably fake. And this mattress just started falling. He was like, oh, hey, up, fucking hell.
Hey, up. Okay, now.
That reminds me of a Frankie Boyle joke. It says, I was reading some UFO reports in the paper, and one was a guy in Wales who spotted bright lights very far away, and that to me could just be a sheep in the distance.
Weatherall
Yes.
engineered the photo. Mm-hmm. So then what happened with the Daily Mail?
What he did is he thought, well, if I send this photo in, it's kind of going to be a bit suspicious that, oh no, the guy who was embarrassed by the nation for finding fake Loch Ness Monster for proof, sends in proof of the Loch Ness Monster. So what he did is he got a friend, one Robert Wilson, a doctor, and he said, you kind of like a practical joke? And he's like, yeah, why not? And he goes, well, You're a doctor, so can you send the photo in? Because as a medical professional, it like lends an air of legitimacy to the photograph. Because obviously, why would a doctor lie? So he sent the photograph in, and then the Daily Mail, when they got it, like, holy fuck, proof of Loch Ness Monster. Shit, who do we have on our payroll? Who do we know we can go investigate this? Let's call up Weatherall. And what they did is they called up Weatherall and paid him a shit ton of money to go investigate the origins of the photograph. A photograph he engineered and knew was bullshit. So he basically got the Daily Mail to pay him money to investigate something he knew was fake.
That's amazing.
And that is how you get revenge with the Loch Ness Monster. So Nisha, you briefly mentioned ghost hunting TV shows, and I love me some ghost hunting TV shows, so let's talk about them now. First things first, let's pour one out for Derek Acorah. Lying to the end. The sad thing is, because like all that medium stuff's bullshit, we can't even talk to him. That's the worst bit about it. But if people don't know who Derek Acorah is, he was a famous... Why am I putting famous in quotes? No, he was famous, but he was a medium who could talk to ghosts. Yeah. And he was infamous on like the TV shows that he was on. Was it Ghost?
I think he was he on Most Haunted?
Most Haunted for oh yeah, I'm channeling the spirit of another person. What's the line that he said that always cracks you up?
I think he's like talking to a male spirit or something.
Yes, and that's the one.
I think it was the actress from EastEnders was there. Who played Sam Mitchell. I only know this because I watched it on Harry Hill's TV.
Of course.
She was talking to Derek when he was possessed. And she was talking to him and he just went, "Go away, slut!"
Why are you here? Why are you bullying this park?
Go away, slut!
The thing is though, it's so bullshit, and those shows continuously get more seasons because obviously it's trash TV, and a little bit of me wants it to be real, but you know it's not gonna be. It's like that BigFoot show I mentioned earlier. It's like so many bloody seasons, and they say, in this episode, do they discover evidence of Bigfoot? Well, no, because it would have been worldwide news the moment it happened. Yeah. There's no fucking way that the discovery of Bigfoot is going to be like, you know, an exclusive of, like, you know, the Discovery Channel at 2 a.m. This is just not going to happen. But it's just really great to see people, and they'll go into the middle of the fucking woods and just be there going like, oh! Just like making ape orgasm noises into the wilderness, hoping that Bigfoot responds. It's so good.
I think the thing I watch the most is when you get YouTubers who do the ghost hunting and paranormal investigations when they take spirit boxes in. Because that's quite spooky, because I don't know if that's real or not, because it's meant to be a way to communicate with spirits and stuff. Like, it uses like static noise and then it picks up frequencies and it like relays messages, but a lot of the time I think it picks up radio. You can't tell if that's real or not. Background
radiation stuff, and like it is all bullshit. I don't believe it, but if I was in that situation and I was like, you know, like in the right mindset, I would be shitting my fucking pants. Because obviously, if you're there and you're in the middle of the night and it's scary, because I've been in places like that, it's been very fucking scary. I've had that moment of like being told, oh, this place is haunted. Yeah. Thanks. Go right nicely now.
You know Spot On, that snooker club? I don't know if you would know.
I've not played much snooker recently.
It's in Hillsborough.
Okay.
Apparently that's haunted.
I don't get, like, why is every building not haunted? Like, every building should be haunted because every building's got someone who died in it. There should be ghosts fucking everywhere. Like, everything. Like, why is it always haunted by a ghost in the 17th century? What about people in the 19th century?
Why always wearing white dresses?
Yeah, like, what are they doing? Why are you dead? Who gives a fuck? I think it's like an Aziz Ansari joke where he talks about it and goes, why are there no modern ghosts? Yeah. Why don't you have like a poltergeist, like, you know, waking you up in the middle of the night, like, dude, what's your Wi-Fi password? It's like, that doesn't happen. It's always like some like spirit from like long ago, like wailing and moaning. It's like, it's been 300 years, get over it, love. And that idea of wailing, I think we all need to end. Like, 'cause Luke has been sat quietly, so I think we all need to end on a squat shout. So we're all ready to do one big squat shout to piss off the people in the office next door. 3, 2, 1. Oh!